Welcome to this week's WWE Raw Recap show brought to you by RP2 Division. Now here is your host, Ronald Ray.
Hello, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to this week's WWE Raw Recap show. I'm Ronald Ray, your boy with a cornbread accent. Hope everybody's doing fine and having a great start to a new work week. I also hope none of you made a mistake and put a huge bet in for TCU to win last night's national championship game. I can understand if you roll the dice on a $20 bet, but with a buddy of yours. But I heard this mattress Matt guy put down. This is like so many millions down, like $1 million or so through Vegas, of course, and another million or half or $1.5 million or something like that with DraftKings, and then some other betting outlet, like $100,000. Anyway, combined was like $3.1 million bet. This guy by this mattress Matt guy, he bet $3.1 million that TCU will win, and wow, I wish I had $3.1 million to waste. But anyway, such as that. Congrats to the Bulldogs, of course, for winning the Nanny for a second year in a row. But okay, I know you're not here to listen to me talk about football. You guys are here to want to talk about the great sport of professional wrestling. And that's what we're sort of going to be talking about. Before I begin, of course, if you're digging my content, use that mouse gimmick to click the subscribe button. I sure would appreciate it. Now that shit's out of the way, let's get on with the show. Now, I won't try to make these shows a little shorter, but we'll see how it goes, because I seem to babble a lot. Anyway, this week's Raw takes place in the Legacy Arena in the heart of Dixie, Birmingham, Alabama. Kevin Owens comes out to talk about his upcoming match with Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. Of course, we got to have some interruption here, and it's JBL. JBL comes in doing what he does best and stirs up what. Stirs up the heat. There we go. We'll phrase it that way. And he introduces the man who defeated Roman in the past 3 years, Baron Corbin. This, of course, will lead to a match. Kevin Owens is getting the shine first, doing a little whomping and stomping on Corbin. Corbin would get the better of the offense, chokeslamming Owens on the apron. A comeback by Owens where he gets a swanton and a super kick in. Corbin gets back on the attack, gets a near fall after a deep six. Then out of nowhere came Owens with a stunner, and that's what gets Kevin Owens to win. But wait, there's more. After the match, the Usos with Solo. Let me start over again. After the match, the Usos with Solo Sikoa attack Kevin Owens. Owens fights him away using a chair. Out comes Adam Pearce with some officials to separate everybody. Then we have a little backstage session where we see Adam Pearce telling the Usos to leave. Of course, later on we see that they really don't, but nevertheless, Solo stays because he has a match later with Dolph Ziggler. Now for the repossession of Alexa Bliss. We get a recap of last week where Alexa Bliss went cuckoo on Bianca Belair and a referee. Bliss would state that she is the face of evil and has no guilt She also said she hasn't felt this good in a long time. Um, Also, she said she has the whole world in her hands. The whole wild. Okay, she didn't say that part. Um, we get to some choppy footage of Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy, creepy music, flickering lights. Alexa Bliss's head spins. Just kidding. Her head really doesn't spin, but of course, that's the end of that segment because now we go to commercial. Next match we have is Bayley versus Mia Yim. Before the match, Bayley talks about Becky Lynch. Of course, she says she's going to make an example of Mia Yim. Bell sounds. They go at it. Bayley takes down Yim. As she does, she waves the rest of Damage Control goodbye because she gave them the night off. But that's when Mia Yim gets up, gets some offense in. And she'll have Mia Yim would have the upper hand throughout, good portion of the match. But in the end, Bayley would come back and get the win. Now for some promo time. Oops, what did I hit there? Anyway, Austin Theory would come out, basically says he's the future and the future is now. And he wants in the Royal Rumble. Rollins enters, and he basically says his knee isn't 100%. I think we all knew that. But he came in because he wants to hear the Alabama crowd sing his song. And he also tells the kid he will see him at the Royal Rumble. Bobby Lashley enters, throws around Austin Theory, then throws his name in the hat also for the Royal Rumble. Next match we have Candice LeRae versus Rhea Ripley. This match was set up early where they announced that Johnny Gargano was injured and will not be able to compete in the tag turmoil match. Anyway, LeRae and Ripley have some words, and that's how this match is set up. LeRae was shy for a short time, then Rhea Ripley would take over and basically overpower little Candice. She would have a glimmer of hope, though, when she hit a German superplex. Going for broke, Candice would go for a slingshot crossbody to the floor, but is caught by Rhea Ripley, who throws her to the barricade. And as you probably can guess it, Rhea Ripley would win by hitting the Riptide on Candice LeRae. And we have a bunch of backstage stuff again. MVP attempts to mend fists with Bobby Lashley. Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali rap about Ziggler backing out of the tag turmoil to wrestle Solo Sikoa. We get an update on Cody Rhodes. Miz angle that makes it look like Bronson Reed is not the Miz's friend. He's just another hired musclehead. And next up, we have Dolph Ziggler versus Solo Sikoa. This one a total squash. Ziggler got to shine a few times, but Solo Sikoa would win after hitting the Samoan Spike. Glad they're using that. I kind of dig that move. I like it when Umaga was around. Kind of dug the move. But glad I brought him back, and he's using it pretty effectively. So now we got Miz TV with the hardened convict Dominik Mysterio. Gosh, I really hope we're not supposed to take the convict Dominik Mysterio seriously. Of course, last week I told you I had my idea was let him go away for actual 6 months, and fix himself cosmetically and get the good nutrition and the diet and get 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 a little ripped, but also the weight training and stuff like that. But obviously, they know better. If I knew better, I would have a job there and not be talking to you like this. But anyway, he talks about his time in the joint. Snitches get stitches, and always have your crew with you. Blah blah blah, and Miz talks about his time in the pokey, I think too. Anyway, it is what it is. So I'm gonna run through this real quick. It is time for basically this is the main event. It's the tag team turmoil match. The winner of this becomes the new number one contender for the WWE Universal World Tag Team Championship. Judgment Day members, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, are in this. They first beat Gallows and Ashland after the interference of Dominik. Then they would go on to beat Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin after Finn hit the coup de grace. Then, of course, Balor and Damian went on to beat Chad Gable and Otis. After the Gable and Otis match, it was determined that Finn Balor could not continue, so Dominik Mysterio will fill in for Finn in the Judgment Day. And, of course, the last team that comes in is the Street Profits. This was pretty good. They gave them some time, but the finish came when Montez Ford nailed Dominik with a 450. Thought he had a pin, but was broken out by Damian Priest. Shortly after that, Mysterio rolled up Ford, used the ropes and Rhea Ripley for leverage to score the pin. So your winner and new number one contenders is the Judgment Day. Now, I don't know. I guess they're going to do like a little Freebird rule with that if they win the belts. Any two of the three can defend them. I don't know if I need to explain the Freebird rule, but just look it up. You can look it up on Wikipedia. I'll explain later. But anyway, that was the end of Raw. I thought it was a decent little show. Of course, all roads lead to the Royal Rumble on January 28th. I gotta keep remembering they call it premium events. Definitely gonna check it out because Royal Rumble was one of my favorite pay-per-views, premium events, whatever you want to call it. Not a big fan of Battle Royals, but that one always it's always cool because sometimes they would, especially the early times, they would bring in somebody who's not even under contract, and later on, like, huge comeback. I actually got to go to the Royal Rumble when it was in Atlanta. The one the Triple H made come back and won the Royal Rumble. That one had the surprise return of Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, and Goldust. So that was actually pretty cool. Anyway, that does it for this week. Tune in next week for another recap of WWE Raw. And until then, you folks take it easy and have a good one.
We here at RP Tube Vision would like to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also check out friends of the show Ecolife Natural for home-crafted candles, hand cloth, and other home and personal goods. Look them up on Facebook. Link will be available below the video. That is Ecolife Natural.